Our friend Greg Reininga of CertraPro Painters joins us for Everyday Iowa this morning. You probably recognize him from Everyday Families, but we thought if you joined Everyday Iowa, we'd have a little more time to go through some tips and tricks.
Yes.
But first, before any of that, fill us in on what CertraPro Painters is and what sets you apart.
Sure. CertraPro Painters is my painting franchise that I've been running for the last 26 years here in Cedar Rapids and Iowa City. We've painted approximately 15,000 homes over that time period. We have about 64 painters and we have an office staff of 10. So what sets us apart is that we have multiple layers that can make sure that any problems that may arise or any solutions that need to happen are getting taken care of. So it's very important for us to have great customer service.
Yes, wonderful. Well, what are we going to talk about today?
Well, I've got some tips and tricks for all of you guys to take a look at. We're going to talk about how to clean a deck. We're going to talk about colors. We're going to talk about frog tape. We're going to talk about how to clean your brushes up at the end of the day so that you can utilize it for the next day or two or even week.
I think a lot of people have brushes with paint
Yes.
and sitting in their basements, maybe me.
Yeah.
Definitely me. So I'm ready to learn.
I do too.
All right, where should we start?
Let's talk about decks and deck cleaning.
Okay.
So, a lot of people think that you need to go out and get a power washer and be super aggressive when it comes to the decks. Actually, the best thing to do for a deck is every year do a maintenance cleaning. You can use simple green if you have any issues with mold or mildew. Dilute that in a 5-gallon bucket. Take a nice bristle brush and
Here, do you want to come over here?
Yeah.
Where you can,
What we do is we dip it in it and we just move through it real nice and quick.
Oh, wait, do it again one more time so we
Okay. Dip it in it and move it nice and quick. It doesn't hurt at all to go ahead and pre-wet the surface, so it helps moisten the wood before you try to clean it. Do not use regular bleach. Do not use harsh chemicals because you're going to run into issues where it's going to take off the coating, and that's not what you're looking to do. If you don't want to use a simple green, all you have to do is use a little Dawn dish soap. That'll work perfect. Again, do not use bleach. It will actually eat away at the wood. So let's talk about frog tape. So we utilize this to get real nice crisp lines. What it has a really unique product on it where once the moisture hits on the roll, it seals it. And when it seals it, that gives you your crisp line. Unlike regular painter's tape, which is the other kind of tape, it will allow the paint to weep behind it. So what I always suggest to people is you put this on your trim, you take a nice wet rag, you run that over that, and what that will do is it'll activate that gel so it'll be nice and crisp when you pull it off. A couple other things to think about. If you're going to put a coat on and you're going to wait a couple hours and put another coat on, make sure you pull the tape off as fast as you can because that way it'll be a nice clean strip and it won't be pulling up the paint that is actually on the wall. Some people will wait like a day or two and then they pull it and all of a sudden you've got bits and pieces going all sorts of directions.
Yeah,
So,
yes you do.
so this is a really good tape. You can get this at almost any paint manufacturer or you can get it at the big box stores. So
Great, I'm buying some of that after this.
the other thing I want to talk about is color. Color is everybody's, I want to do something in my room, but I don't quite know what to do. Understand there are warm tones, there are cold tones. You'll see that the grays and the whites, the stark whites, are going to be the colors that are cool. So they're going to have a cool appearance in the room. It's going to make it feel cooler in there. Then you have the warms. So that could be your taupes, it could be your browns, it could be your off creamy whites. Those are going to be warm colors. So if you had a lot of woodwork in your house, let's say it's that golden oak woodwork, you're going to want to stick with a warm color. While if you have a painted woodwork, if you stick with a cooler color, it's going to contrast with your woodwork a little bit better. One of the unique things I can say about this, these are from Sherwin-Williams. They're nice, big, they're peel and stick. So you can go ahead and peel it, stick it on the wall, and then you can see it during the morning, during the afternoon, during the night, and see what that color really looks like. The greatest thing about this is they come right down, they don't leave any marks. if you go and get a test sample and you put it on the wall, you're going to end up having a square, and it's really hard to get out over time.
I'm laughing because this is what happened to me.
Yeah?
A couple months ago, I painted a room, and
Yep.
I should have come to you first.
That's okay. That's okay. That's what we're here for. We're learning. We're learning. The last thing I wanted to go over is brushes and rollers. So we all get done at the end of the day, and we think, oh, this is a nice, easy project. But what we forget is how hard it is to start the project, and then at the very end, when you're dead tired, the last thing you want to do is clean up after yourself or the project. One of the easy ways to do your brushes and rollers, especially if you're going to go back and do touch-up at some point in time or do another room in them, is to just use simple painter's plastic. So this is simple painter's plastic. It's the same stuff that you might put over your furniture, you might put down as a drop cloth. It's really simple stuff. We basically take it, we're going to cut a piece off. We're basically just going to wrap the brush in it, tape it, which I can do
Here,
somewhere. You hold the brush
yeah.
and I'll get the tape. There we go.
Does the brush, do you rinse it first? Or?
Nope, I leave paint on it. I
Okay.
actually make sure that I put extra paint on it so it doesn't dry out. I usually put two things of tape on it, one at the bottom and then one at the top. And you're good for 3-4 weeks with just leaving it as it is. Wow. Obviously, when you recharge and then a day or two goes by and you're like, okay, I finally need to get to it, you can easily take this off, run it under water. Again, I'm going to go back to that Dawn dish soap. That Dawn dish soap really helps take out the paint. As for your rollers, you can do the exact same thing. You just wrap around it, make sure that you don't have any voids, and just tape around it. That'll last for, I actually have a roller down in my basement that is 18 months old, and it still is perfectly fine.
Last question, how can people get a hold of you?
You can always find us at www.CertraPro.com. You can always find us locally at 319-294-4322, and we're easy to find on the internet.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you.
All right, coming up, the Cedar